Hello, boys and girls. I have another story for you. If you're ready for bed, you got to get your jammies on and be ready to settle down and listen. But this is kind of a funny story. I always thought it was funny, and we've always laughed about it in our family. So I'll share it with you just in case you need something funny. It's a short little story, but it's one that's been in our family for a long time, and it is a true story. Years ago, when my mother was a little girl, she and her family lived in what we called the wilderness. It's a place in Tennessee, and it has a name now, but back then it just was called the wilderness. And it was way out where there wasn't many people, and they lived in a small little house out there. Now, my mother's brother and sister, older brother and sister, weren't at home when this happened. I don't know if they had grown old enough to go out on their own or not, but my mother was there, and she was about 10, well, no, she was a teenager, and so she was probably about 16 or 17, something like that. And my grandmother was there when this happened, and my mother had a little brother who was 10 years younger than she was, so he was probably 6 or 7 years old. Anyway, for some reason, I think that she told me that it stormed one time and the lightning struck their house and set it on fire. I think that's how the fire started. But anyway, it was a little house and it started burning quickly, and they had time to get out, and they did. They got out of the house, my mother, my grandmother, and my uncle, who was a little boy. They got out of the house and they were out there trying to get help, holler or yell for somebody, or figure out how they could maybe help put out the fire, because they didn't have a hose or anything. But anyway, my uncle, this is what's funny, my uncle, his name was Joel, he got so excited and so scared that he didn't quite know what he was doing. So after they had gotten out of the house, he ran back into the house, and it burning. He ran back into the house and grabbed the trash can and came running out with it. So he ran in and saved the trash, and he came out. Well, he had gotten, the fire had gotten on his clothes, and his clothes were burning, and they had to throw him down on the ground and roll him in the dirt and put dirt on him to put the fire out. But he was so scared, and I guess in shock a little bit, that he ran in and saved the trash when the house was on fire. So that's always been a family joke, and we always thought it was so hilarious that he did that he got that scared. But that's just a funny little story for you to enjoy, and I hope you have a really pleasant night and have sweet dreams tonight. Good night.